not taken.
We do have a road not taken, but that's the only one. Bye. Bye.
I've not heard of that chapter. Nope. Nowhere.
Yeah, it's not.
We have to start with the sound of music today.
Yes.
I did read it at home, like I tried to, but it's too long and my focus is just all over the place.
I know. It has 2 parts. It has 2 parts. I'll just check whether there are any more. 7 pages. Oh, I wish I would talk to the Song of the Rain. Song of the Rain?
No.
A lady print. I should have done the road not taken together. And then forget it. I just. That is the Bihar, no?
Yeah.
We have to do the first lesson from moments as well.
Yeah, I did read both the textbooks today.
I don't think we'll be able to.
Yeah, it's
because it's a. Yeah. Now, the first lesson is about this woman called Evelyn Glennie, yes. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
So, did you finish this?
No. Yeah, she did. She gave us the question answers and she gave us a summary of the chapter.
So, you don't read it in the class?
Usually, the whole time is spent discussing the chapter in a summary. So, we cannot go through. Our teachers try to finish one lesson in a day or 2. So, they just give us a short, like a watered down version of the chapter. And we are asked to read it and write down our own version of it at home.
Does that help?
Not really. That's why I'm here.
Because you're pretty good in English, I mean.
Thank you. It's because my sister always teaches me English. She's really enthusiastic about making sure I know what is my subject.
Good. Because then hopefully this will be a double revision and it will help better. Yes. Evelyn Glennie, she was a percussionist. She is a percussionist. Now, what is percussionist?
It is a membrane-bound
drums.
Yeah, no, it's a membrane-bound instrument which uses air gaps to produce musical sounds.
Oh my God!
I did my research on this.
Oh, in simple layman's word,
it's drums and other instruments with flat surfaces.
So I prefer showing it on the screen.
Yeah. No, don't close that. Yeah. Last time, what is his name? The chemistry teacher, he closed the tab.
Okay.
Niharika, so yes, he closed the tab. And then Shara Nakul wasn't able to turn on the live stream again.
Percussion.
I believe it's spread with 2 hours.
2 hours?
No. It's spread with 2 S. Yeah, not 2 hours.
So these drums are called percussion instruments.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see what Evelyn Glennie played.
Yeah, she's the first person. She's that famous. Never
She's very famous, world famous. That's Evelyn Glennie. Let's go on images. Because unless you see her and what she has done, how she plays, see her pictures, only then you realize what a maestro she is, what a great musician she is. Have you ever played anything? So these are all percussions. So you must have seen on this.
Our school has this drum set,
Okay,
like a whole drum set.
great. And have you ever tried to learn any musical instrument?
I can play the harmonium.
You can play the harmonium. Now imagine while you were learning to play the harmonium, that sa re ga ma, you know, 1 2 3.
Yeah.
Imagine playing that without being able to hear it.
To be honest, that sounds impossible because
Exactly.
I never know what I'm playing unless I hear it.
If you're learning music, you're learning singing, you catch up the tone, tune by listening. And therefore, she is a miracle because she learned to play this when she could not hear anything. And she tried to learn this just by feeling the vibrations. So, was she deaf always?
No,
She was not. So let's read, because I prefer reading the lesson because you understand the lesson better. And I like to keep her on screen simply because then you understand what this lesson is and what a marvelous person this woman is. Okay. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. So here we have it, the sound of music. And the first part is Evelyn Glennie. Seat.
Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the underground train platform. A slight girl, looking younger than her 17 years, was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf.
Now, the first para tells us that she was standing at a underground train platform or something, and she was this thin girl. You know, she was 17 years old, but she did not look 17. And if you stand at a platform, you can feel the vibrations of the approaching train. So she could feel the vibrations, and she was ready to get into the train. Where was she going?
She was going to the Royal Academy of Music in London.
Yes. And it was daunting for her because she had just come to London. She was from Scotland. And she faced a bigger challenge than that because she could not hear anything. She could only feel. She was completely deaf. She was traveling alone.
Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8-year-old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, said Isabel Glennie. For quite a while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated and her headmistress urged the parents to take her to a specialist. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, said Evelyn.
So it so happened that her deafness was gradual. Okay, she was not born deaf.
Yeah.
So when did they first notice that she
was 8
years old? What happened?
Her mother was
a teacher.
Oh,
yeah,
Isabel.
Yeah, mother.
Her mother realized when she was supposed to play the piano and her name was called, she did not respond. She couldn't hear.
Yeah, so she did not respond. And it's not that she was busy talking, but then from her face, she could see that she did not hear it. For a long time, Evelyn tried to hide that she cannot hear. A young child, she didn't want to miss everything. She didn't want to feel out of place. She did not want others to tease. But by the time she was 11, it was pretty evident. How?
Because her marks were deteriorating and her headmistress.
Yes, the marks were deteriorating, and then they probably sent her to test for testing, and they realized that the girl could not hear. So the headmistress said that okay, if she cannot hear, then there is no point in keeping her in the same school. Please send her to the school for hearing. She said suddenly it looked black. Now why did she say that?
Because for an 11-year-old, that's like the end of the world. Is you're now deaf and you cannot go to your school because your headmistress doesn't want you to.
So she was 11, that means she was hardly in fifth standard.
Yeah.
And all this while she was with her friends in the regular school, and suddenly she's become deaf and thrown out of the school, asked to leave the school, leave her friends, go and sit with people with the sudden change, right? Children with whom she was not comfortable. So, so it was a big change for her, big shock for her. When they, and therefore she says that suddenly everything was black. But England was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. He began by turning two large drums. You read from.
Yeah. He began by turning two large drums to different notes. Don't listen through your ears, he would say. Try to sense it some other way, says Evelyn. Suddenly, I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. Forbes repeated the exercise, and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. The rest was sheer determination and hard work.
Okay. So here, one day she saw this, she wanted to lead a normal life. She decided she will lead a normal life. And one day she saw a girl playing xylophone. She also wanted to. But then, as most teachers are, or as most of us are, we are first to say no.
Yeah.
No, you can't do this. No, you will not manage this. Forget it. Do something else. Same, she was told. This one person, he spotted the talent. Ron Forbes. See, it's amazing that that man sense that he could, sense that she has some talent. And Ron Forbes spotted her potential. What did he do?
He asked her to sense the music some other way and not hear it from her ears.
Yeah, because she anyway cannot hear.
Yeah.
So what did he do?
He made her realize that she can feel the music in other parts of her body.
Okay, so for that he tuned two large drums to different notes.
Yeah.
And then asked her to sense the difference in the vibration.
The difference of waist down and waist up.
Yes. So, and then and he repeated the exercise. Now, our parents were musicians themselves, that they had their own band of players and orchestra, and they were used to visit. So she had that advantage that she had the musicians coming over to her house, and she was among the musicians. But even then, in spite of that, she learned to play this with sheer hard work. Okay.
She never looked back from that point onwards. She toured the United Kingdom with a youth orchestra, and by the time she was 16, she had decided to make music her life. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of the academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performances. At the end of her 3-year course, she had captured most of the top awards. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. If you work hard and know where you are going, you'll get there. And she got right to the top. The world's most sought after multi-percussionist with a mastery of some 1,000 instruments and a hectic international schedule.
So she started learning. She learned it so well that she actually started touring United Kingdom with youth orchestra. Then she joined this Royal Academy of Music. It's a most sought after music school, and she was there.
She scored
highest scores at the end of her 3-year course. And she says that she doesn't accept any, what do you say? She says it's no heroic achievement. If you work hard, you will
get to the top.
But then she was a talented girl. You know, you need that inborn talent when it comes to art. That's what I thoda to hona hi chahiye. It is intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beards give me trouble, she laughed. It is not just watching the lips, it is the whole face, especially the eyes. She speaks flawlessly with a Scottish lilt. My speech is clear because I could hear till I was 11, she says. But that doesn't explain how she managed to learn French and master basic Japanese.
Okay, she can't just play instruments, she also speaks multiple languages.
Yes. Now, see, usually those who are deaf are also dumb because...
if you can't hear, you cannot enunciate words properly.
Yes, therefore. So you basically hear the words and start speaking when you are a child. But she could hear till she was 11. So she already knew how to speak.
Yeah.
Now she could not hear. And therefore and how does she do? How does she listen, understand?
She notices the lips and the eyes, the whole facial
expression. Lip reading is what she does. And she says it's very important. Which kind of men give her trouble?
Men with beards, because she cannot see the lip movement.
Lip movement and eyes. Eyes, of course, eyes she can see. Lip movement. You're very good. You're very good. So the very same sentence, but the way you say
it's very different.
It's very different. So to understand that, you need the eyes as well.
Does lilt over here refer to an accent that she has a Scottish accent?
Yes.
They use crazy words to describe the most basic things.
Yes.
Should I continue reading?
Yes.
As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles on the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drums, she can feel the resonance flowing into her body. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. Not surprisingly, Evelyn delights her audiences. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. Says Master Percussionist James Blades, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That is why she expresses music so beautifully.
It is amazing that she learns to play the instrument just by sensing the vibrations. How does she do? She says that
the xylophone, she feels it through the stick in her finger.
Yes.
It's crazy how she describes it.
Exactly. And so she can feel the vibrations in her cheekbone, in her hair. So when she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing from the stick through her fingers. She stands bare feet, so she can sense the vibrations of the instrument or on the stage.
If you think about it, we never think of
vibration.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like we can hear it, so we just sense the hearing instead of realizing how differently the body vibrates to the music. That's so incredible.
That explains why you have, since you have learned harmonium, you know the rag. Each rag has a time.
Yeah.
To play.
Yes.
Because they say that the sound that it creates,
it vibrates differently with the environment.
Yeah, and it gels. Apparently, it vibrates, vibes the sound waves are better at that time. It matches
Some
the
ragas
sound.
are played only in the morning. So my Guruji, she would tell me to play certain ragas or practice them only when the sun was up. So if I play it in the night, she would just discard my practice. And like, certain would
They sound better. Apparently,
Yeah.
they sound better during that time.
And even when you play it at the wrong timing, you just don't feel right when you play it. The sound is never the perfect.
So we don't understand that there are vibrations
I never
around
thought
us.
of it.
Yes. And that is how she learned.
Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I've just got to work, often harder than classical musicians. But the rewards are enormous. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority classes for young musicians. Anne Richland of the Beethoven Fund for Deaf Children says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that there is nowhere that they cannot go. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. She has brought percussion to the front of the orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped. People who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. Deborah Cowley.
So here she has inspired so many deaf children because they always see her play and they think that if she can do, even we can. And apart from just playing concerts, she has also helped and done other work. What other work has she
She
done?
has played in prisons, hospitals. She does free concerts for them, and she also gives priority classes to young musicians.
That's right. Okay. So should we do the question answers?
Yeah.
There's no point in me again and again explaining in detail.
Yeah.
How old was Evelyn when she went to Royal Academy?
She was 17 years old.
17. When was her deafness first noticed?
It was first noticed that she was deaf at 8 years, and it was confirmed when she was 11 years.
Very good. Answer each of these questions in paragraph. Who helped her to continue with music? Percussionist
Ron Forbes helped her in continuing with music, and he taught her to feel the music in other ways other than just hearing it.
So what did he do?
He tuned two drums differently and made her realize that she can feel the music in different parts of her body.
Okay. And and made her realize that higher drum, she can sense that higher drum from
The
bass
bass
up
drum
and the lower drum from the
bass
bass. Name the various places and causes for which Evelyn performs.
Evelyn performs concerts. She also performs free for prisons and hospitals.
Yes.
And she did also perform in orchestras.
Okay. And high priority classes for young musicians.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you say that she does concerts and she conducts world tours.
Yeah.
World tours, and then these
The prison class, the prison concerts, the
concerts in the prison,
hospital, and free and priority classes.
high priority classes
to young musicians.
Yes. How does Evelyn hear music?
It's described throughout the chapter. She can feel it through her fingertips while playing the xylophone.
Yeah, so the last para basically.
Okay.
Last para on page 19. So she hears it through different parts of her body.
It tickles her skin, cheekbones, hair. She can sense it through the fingertips.
By playing xylophone.
And
it's a big answer. Huh? It's a big answer. This question is a big answer. So you have to write the whole thing.
If there's one thing I'm good at, it's stretching out answers. So you don't need to worry about that.
Because you'll be writing these 3 answers now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Don't simply say Ron Forbes. Say percussionist.
Ron
Forbes.
This is chapter number 2, right?
Yes. Spotted her talent and encouraged her to.
Do I write down the question or just number?
No number. Spotted her potential. The word is potential. You can use whatever word you want. Stick to potential.
Just keep doing. Yeah.
I was just wondering whether we can see the.
There's a lot of videos of her. Okay, that's a TED talk.
Oh, it's just a TED talk.
Yeah.
Is this that is also a TED talk? Can we hear her play?
I guess you'll have to search for that on YouTube then. Speaker isn't on. You'll have to turn it on from there. The remote from there, you'll have to turn on the red button. The red one. This. She cannot hear it. How?
I know. Let's keep the images.
She's pretty too.
Exactly.
What did he do and say? You also have to write down.
Yes. So what did he do?
He tuned. Okay, yeah. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes. It's page 18,
Yes.
third paragraph.
Yes. So he tuned two large drums to different notes
And
and
then
asked her to sense it in some other way rather than trying to hear it.
suddenly she could feel the higher drum from bass up and the lower one from bass up. And soon she discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of the body. I write down that parts.
Should I write it or you?
No, I write it down.
It will all be in past tense, huh?
Yeah. I didn't exactly copy it from the textbook. I chose different wordings.
Okay, what have you written?
Should I start read from the beginning?
No, from.
Okay.
You can read from the beginning. Fine.
Percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential and helped her to continue with music. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes and asked her to feel it from other parts of her body other than hearing it. Suddenly, she realized that she could feel the higher notes from her waist up and the lower notes from her waist down. Soon, she realized that she could sense different notes from various parts of her body.
Okay. Now, higher drum would produce higher notes. Here it says higher drum.
Yeah.
So stick to higher drum.
Okay.
Because your teacher might take objection to that otherwise. Okay. So higher
I'll
drum.
keep that in mind.
Yeah. So rather than higher notes, stick to higher drum.
I've written it down. So I'll keep that in mind.
Second one. Name the various places and causes for which Evelyn performed.
She tours the world. She plays for free in prisons and hospitals, and she gives high priority classes to young musicians.
That's right. Next one is the brief answer. Huh?
Yeah.
Done?
Evelyn conducts tours around the world and performs concerts. She plays for free in prisons and hospitals.
Very good.
She also gives high priority classes to young musicians.
Very good. How does Evelyn hear music?
Yeah, described in the last paragraph. Should I write it down as is?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can add one more line here that she leans against the drums and she senses the larger drums, that part, right? That also. From waist up and the smaller drums from waist down. So add
The higher drums?
The higher drums and the lower drums.
Okay.
That right at that point.
Okay,
also.
yeah, I marked it and write it down.
Yeah.
This paragraph as well as that.
That's
If I ask you a question, is it going to sound too childish enough?
No.
I never understood brief, like as in the term brief and answers, because every time they mention brief, they expect larger answers. What is the situation with that? Because when I was in third grade in my SST class, I heard this word for the first time, and the answer was supposed to be a page long. So I was like, then how is the answer in brief? What's the purpose of that? Do they want a brief summary of the chapter or do they want a brief answer?
Actually, a brief answer, but then usually here they have given the words, right? 100 to 150 words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, mm, see, luckily they tell you the words. How brief you come to know from the words.
Yeah. It's usually the marks or the amount of words
Exactly.
that tell us how brief the answer
Yes.
should be. They should use proper terms. It's really confusing in examination.
Done? I'll try. Good job. Hoping to remember.
Yes.
So I'll just do a quick revision with you. Okay. Who was Ron Forbes?
Ron Forbes was the percussionist who realized the potential in Evelyn properly.
What did he do?
He made her realize that she could sense the music from other parts of her body other than hear it.
By doing what?
Okay, and by tuning two drums to two different notes and making her realize she can feel higher drums.
That tuning two drums is important. Okay. What special achievement did Evelyn have in the history of Royal Academy?
She was one of the highest scorers in the history of Royal Academy. Yes.
Why does Evelyn remove her shoes on a wooden platform?
Evelyn removes her shoes on a wooden platform to feel the vibrations of the music flow from her feet to up her legs.
Everything suddenly looked black. Why does Evelyn say so?
Evelyn says so as she was thrown out of her school due to her hearing disability.
Okay. And she lost all hope for any great achievement. Yeah. Okay. Lost hope for achieving anything better in life. How is Evelyn an inspiration for the handicapped people?
Evelyn is an inspiration for handicapped people as they believe if she could do it, they could do it too.
What was Evelyn's determination? Evelyn was determined to lead
Evelyn was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music.
Very, very good. This is a difficult one because I randomly asked one line. So, give me one word which means a person who plays tabla or drum.
Percussionist.
Yes. Okay. Why was there jostling on the platform?
There was jostling on the platform because Evelyn could feel the vibration of their train coming.
No, jostling means pushing. You know when the train went
okay,
it was a rush hour.
Yeah.
Okay, it was a rush hour.
The train was arriving on a rush hour.
Yes, the train was arriving. That was rush hour, and people wanted to get into the train. Okay. I think that's you've got most of the answers. And now we'll go to the Shehnai of Bismillah Khan. Have you heard Shehnai?
Yeah.
Ever? Okay, good.
I had heard it live somewhere. My father had taken me to a musical festival.
There. Or if you ever go to a wedding.
Yeah. That is the worst display of Shehnai ever.
So that it's always
the same
thing is there in every wedding. Okay. So in India, the Shehnai was made popular by Bismillah. And this lesson is about him. Now this lesson first tells us a short gist of how Shehnai was invented. So let's read. Do we have time? We have 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Okay. If you want, you can listen to Shehnai and Bismillah Khan.
I'll search for his pictures. Actually, I've never seen him.
You've never seen him? Then you must.
My father has said a lot of things about, like really nice things about Bismillah Khan. Okay, he was a really old man.
He became old. He started when he was young.
Oh, he's no more.
Yeah, he's more.
Oh.
He started when he was very young, but these pictures are taken when he was
Really old.
see that one in that black, then is pretty young. Second row, yeah. This is comparatively younger.
Yeah, than the rest of his pictures.
I don't think there must be a very young picture.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is the one.
Okay. Wonderful. He's a good representative of Indian art.
So let us Bismillah. Let's read how this Shehnai was invented.
Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi in the royal residence for it had a shrill, unpleasant sound.
You know what pungi is?
Yeah.
Have you seen pungi?
Yeah. It is one of like the least listened to musical instruments, I believe. No one likes it. Pungi became the generic name for reeded noisemakers. Few had thought it would one day be revived. A barber of a family of professional musicians who had access to the royal palace decided to improve the tonal quality of the pungi. He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. When he played it, closing and opening some of the holes, soft and melodious sounds were produced. He played the instrument before the royalty and everyone was impressed. The instrument, so different from pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in Shah's chamber, it was played by a nine. The instrument was named the Shehnai.
Shehnai. Okay, that is
Such a good story.
yes. So who banned playing pungi?
Aurangzeb.
Aurangzeb. Why? Because it had
It had an unpleasant
shrill sound. Now there was this barber
from
a family of musicians, and he decided to improve this pungi. Okay. Even today, there are a few folk music, few folk singers, folk dances where this pungi is played. But he did not like it, it has a shrill voice, so he decided to improve it. So what did he do to improve it?
He took a naturally hollow pipe,
And a larger one.
Yeah. And made 7 holes in it. When covering and opening holes, he made the better sound
Yeah,
than
so
the pungi.
yeah, so that he attached a longer pipe with a hollow, longer pipe, made 7 holes, and when he tried playing that, pungi has the pipe is small.
Yeah.
And behind there is a picture
Yeah,
of
there
pungi.
is.
Yeah.
The pungi.
And then, so he, instead of that, and suddenly he realized that this pungi makes a better sound, sounds better. So he decided to play, decided to show a new instrument to the Shah. So he played in the Shah's court and they all liked it, enjoyed it. And now they had to name this new instrument. So since it was first played in the Shah's court and it was played by a nine means barber in Hindi, so it became a Shehnai. The sound of the Shehnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this occasion, for this reason, it is still played in temples and is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding.
Yes.
In the past, the Shehnai was part of the Naubat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal court. Till recently, it was used only in temples and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah. So far, it was only played in the temples and in the weddings. It was never played on stage as a concert. And that credit for playing it as one of the classical instruments on stage goes to Bismillah.
As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played gilli danda near a pond in the ancient estate of Dungrao in Bihar. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kgs as a prize given by the local Maharaja. This happened 8 years ago. And the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna.
So they say that he started, where was he born?
He was born in Bihar.
Yes, a place called Dumra in Bihar. So there he was born. As a child, he would, play gilli danda like any other normal boy, go and then they would run and go and sing chetta in the, the Bihari temple. And for that, the local ruler would give them prize as this 1.25 kg laddu. And from there, from being that that boy, he has traveled a long distance to earning the biggest civilian award, Bharat Ratna.
Born on 21st March 1916, Bismillah belongs to a well-known family of musicians from Bihar. His grandfather, Rasul Baks Khan, was the Shehnai Nawaz of the Bhojpuri King's court. His father, Paigambar Baks, and other paternal ancestors were also great Shehnai players. The young boy took to music
paternal and maternal.
Yeah. The young boy took to music early in life. At the age of 3, when his mother took him to his maternal uncle's house in Banaras, now Varanasi, Bismillah was fascinated watching his uncles practice the Shehnai. Soon Bismillah started accompanying his uncle Ali Baks to the Vishnu temple of Banaras, where Baks was employed to play the Shehnai. Ali Baks would play the Shehnai and Bismillah would sit captivated for hours on it. Slowly, he started getting lessons in playing the instrument and would sit practicing throughout the day. For years to come, the temple of Balaji and Mangala Maya and the banks of the Ganga became the young apprentice's favorite haunts where he could practice in solitude. The flowing waters of the Ganga inspired him to improvise and invent ragas that were earlier considered to be beyond the range of the Shehnai.
So this paragraph tells us about his childhood. His paternal ancestors were all Shehnai masters. His grandfather
would play at the court of the king.
What was his name? Rasul
Baks and Ali Baks was.
And his father was Paigambar Baks. And Ali Baks was his maternal uncle. Okay. Even so, paternal uncles, ancestors, his father, grandfather, and even his maternal mummy's side, everybody was a Shehnai player. And
he was fascinated by his uncle's talent at playing Shehnai, so that inspired him to learn that too.
Exactly. And where would he practice?
He would practice at the banks of River Ganga in solitude. And there's also this
temple, Balaji temple and Mangala Maya. The temple of Balaji and Mangala Maya were the places where he would practice. And he mastered the ragas which were earlier considered impossible to be played by Shehnai. There were some ragas that said, "Ye to Shehnai se bajenge nahi." He even mastered those ragas. So,
at the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Faiz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. He soon became an often heard Shehnai player on radio. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shehnai. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech.
So, his first break. When was his first break? That was his first big break.
When All India Radio opened in Lucknow in 1938.
So when All India Radio opened, that means the radio station started in Lucknow, they invited him very often to play Shehnai on the radio. And then came a very big day, 15th August 1947, the day of
Indian independence.
He became the first Indian to greet, even before Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru gave his speech. So He was the first Indian to read the became the first Indian to lead the nation with his Shehnai. So he played Shehnai that day. He opened the function that day with his Shehnai.
He was the first person to be heard by independent India.
And not Pandit Nehru.
I had learned his speech just for destiny. I remember to give in one of my school's functions. I learned the entire speech. It was so boring.
When the world sleeps, India waits for
India waits to independence. Something I learned there.
Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Zahir Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted
Maestro means the master of anything.
That he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named the film after the instrument called Goonj Uthi Shehnai. The film was a hit, and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chartbuster. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were limited to two: Vijay Bhatt's Goonj Uthi Shehnai and Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sannadhi Appanna. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis.
So, this paragraph.
He's a simple man.
Yes. This paragraph tells us about his performances, memorable performance. First international performance was
in Afghanistan.
And the king of Afghanistan was so impressed. What did he gift him?
He gave him priceless Persian carpets and many other souvenirs.
And then we have this film director, Vijay Bhatt. How did he?
He was really impressed at a music festival, hearing Bismillah Khan's Shehnai, that he named a movie after the instrument, and he made him play a composition in the movie that was a big hit.
No, he did not make him play the composition. The movie Goonj Uthi Shehnai was made by Vijay Bhatt, and for this movie, he gave the music.
Oh,
he was the composer of the music, and for that Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, that composition became a big hit. So Vijay Bhatt would be your Alia Bhatt's grandfather.
Great grandfather, right?
My grandfather. Mahesh Bhatt's father, Vijay.
And Vikram Srinivasan's Kannada movie was the second and last one that he played in.
Yeah. So he only, though he was his music compositions were great success, he has only done 2 movies. And the reason being,
he thinks the film industry is too artificial for him.
Yes, so he says it's too artificial and too glamorous for his taste.
Do we have time?
What time it is?
It is exactly 6:20.
Oh my god.
The last time I'd seen the clock, it was 6:07.
Okay. I think in that case we will stop.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have to read one more paragraph.
Yeah,
one.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Awards and recognition came thick and fast. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival and the Osaka Trade Fair. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him. Tahir
Mosiki,
Ustad Bismillah Khan.
See how wonderful it is that a music concert room, right? No,
An auditorium
was named after an Indian in Tehran. National awards like Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, and Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. So, 10.
I have marked this whole paragraph because the awards were important.
There is also a question. What awards were conferred on him? I think. Are there?
There must be somewhere, right? This question is important.
Yes.
My sister had asked me to mark this.
Yes, I had to.
It must be the volume then.
Must be the. This could have read it somewhere. Anyway. So we'll continue this next time. I hope you understood the first part and the second one.
I really like this chapter now.
Sound of music. Has your teacher finished bit as well?
She gave us the answers, like a few extra questions to go in that. So,
For wind.
yeah, she did not explain. Usually, poems are not really explained, they are just read in the class.
And everyone understands.
They understand the literal meaning of the poem, but never the actual. I have always gotten English tuition since I was in 4th grade due to this reason. My English tuition teacher was some literature major. She is now going on to do her master's. No, she's doing a PhD now in English. She stopped giving tuition.
And where does she stay?
She stays in my society.
Okay.
She's a really nice college HDB. Thank you.
Bye. See you next week.
Yes.
Come with your textbooks.
Yes.